Yo, what is up, boys? I'm your boy Nick with Pick My Man. Today we're gonna be going over this video for tier list for chins in the UFC, and there's some fighters on here that probably retired, some fighters on here that are probably not in the UFC anymore. But I'm trying to include all the fighters that are still in the UFC. So this is probably gonna be a long video. Probably gonna take me like at least 30 minutes. So let's go over it, guys. So make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're making our way to 1K subscribers. Let's freaking go, guys. Appreciate all the support as always. Let's go over it, guys. So we're gonna start with I don't have the fighters in order, it's just random. So first fighter we're gonna start with is Pedro, and we're gonna start with Anthony Smith. Okay, we're gonna start with Anthony Smith right now. Anthony Smith fights at 205. He's been fighting at 205 in the UFC for a long time. I would put Anthony Smith. I think he's got a glass chin. I don't think his chin is that good. I think he's got a glass chin, to be honest. I'm not that I'm not really an Anthony Smith fan, to be honest with you guys. He's been knocked out like 8 or 9 times by now. I can't remember how many times he's been knocked out now. It's hard to count even. But he's been fighting in the UFC for a long time, like over a decade. So credit to Anthony Smith, but he's got a glass chin. Next up, guys, we got a fighter that's retired at this point, but I had to include him because this dude's got a pretty bad chin. Marlon Moraes, the worst chin in the UFC history in my time since I've been watching the UFC. I think he's got a absolute glass chin. The absolute worst chin out there. I'm glad he retired. I hope he's enjoying his time off now. And I'm glad he retired, man. He went to the PFO after the UFC got knocked out like three or four times over there, and then he finally called it. Next up, guys, we're gonna go with another, not the best chin out there right now, but still in the UFC and still coming off some good wins. We're gonna go over Cody No Chin Garbrandt. I think Garbrandt's chin is pretty horrible too. I'm worried about his chin being cracked every time he goes out there and fights, because I picked him against Kelleher. At first I was like picking Kelleher because I was worried about him getting cracked. Then I was like, Kelleher is fucking 40 years old now. He's not gonna knock out Cody Garbrandt. But if he fights someone like anyone that's good in the rankings, anyone that can punch hard, has speed, is still in their prime, I think they're gonna crack his chin again. So I'm worried about Cody still. Next up, guys, we're gonna go with the none other than someone that gave John Jones the toughest fight of his career. Dominic Reyes, glass chin, absolute glass chin. He's gonna be fighting on the UFC 297 card. And I think he's gonna get his chin cracked again. I hope he just calls it at this point. He's still got the skill set, but just his chin is horrible now. I'm putting everyone at glass chin right now. That's the way it is, I guess. Next up, guys, we got none other than Benio Dariush. Benio Dariush he's been knocked out like 4 or 5 times at this point. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's been knocked out so many times at this point. I can't even remember. I think he's been knocked out 5 times now. He's coming off that knockout loss to Arman Sorokin, where he got knocked out like in a minute. I think he's got a glass chin too. As much as I wanted to put him in regional level chins, I think he's got a. I think even if he went to regional MMA, he would still get his chin cracked over there. I think Dariush has got a glass chin too. Next up, guys, we got the worst chin of all time, Johnny Walker. His chin is looking a little bit better. I think I gotta put Johnny Walker in regional level chins, because he used to have one of the worst chins. He should have been like in the glass chin tier list, but now like his chin looks like it's a little bit improved. He's defensively a little bit better now. He's not taking big shots to the dome anymore. But the way he got knocked out by Jamal Hill, that was so funny, bro. That was so fucking hilarious. And I wanted to put him in glass chins, but I think he's got a good enough chin. His chin is working on that chin now. His chin game is improving every time we see him fight now. Maybe I'll move him to glass chin in the future, but for now I think he's got a reasonable level chins now. Next up, guys, we got the best chin of the business, Kelvin Gastelum. He's definitely got a crimson chin, man. I know he's been dropped 1 time in the UFC. I can't remember who dropped him, but he's definitely got some of the best chins in the business. He's never been knocked out, and there's a reason for that. I know he's been subbed like twice now, but he's never been knocked out. Next up, guys, we got another pretty good chin in the fight game. only been knocked out one time, and it was in PFL back when he came to the before he came into the UFC. Chris Curtis, he got knocked out by Ray Cooper back in the day. I gotta put Chris Curtis good chins. I think he's got a pretty good chin. In the UFC, he's never been knocked down or knocked out, I think. Next up, guys, we got our boy Trailblazer. I'm fucking mumbling. We got Trailblazer right now, and I think Trailblazer's got a pretty good chin. I think I gotta put him next to Chris Curtis. I think he's only been knocked out like one time, and it was like a doctor stoppage, I think, or corner stoppage when he fought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yeah, Kevin Holland's fought guys like Thiago Santos and those big hitters, and he's never been knocked out like that clean. Next up, guys, we're gonna go move on to Kelvin Cater. Kelvin Cater has a pretty good chin. I think I gotta put him in good chins. I think he's got a pretty good chin. Next up, guys, I gotta move this a little bit. I think he's got a pretty good chin, to be honest, solid chin on Kelvin Cater. Next up, guys, we're gonna move on to our boy Jamal Hill. Sweet dreams, Jamal Hill. Let's freaking go. Jamal Hill has a good chin, I think. I honestly think Jamal Hill has a crimson chin. Yeah, I think Jamal Hill. He's been in there with some big hitters, man. He's very defensively sound. Never gets hit clean all that much, and he's been in there with some pretty big hitters. I mean, Johnny Walker, Teixeira's got some power too, but he hasn't fought like big power punchers. So I think he's got a pretty good chin. I think Jamal Hill has a solid chin, right? To be honest. Next up, guys, we gotta move on to our boy, who was just in there, UFC 296, Alonzo Menifield. I think Menifield has a crazy freaking chin on him, man. Good chin on Menifield. He took some big shots from Jacoby. Justin Jacoby cracked his chin a couple of times. This guy just eats all the shots like Tic Tacs out there. I think Menifield's got to go to good chins. Beat here. Next up, guys, we're gonna go to our boy who used to have the best chin in the business. Our boy Drew Dober. Matt Frola took his chin. I still think his chin is pretty good. I gotta put him at B tier. But I think I'm worried about his chin a little bit because it did get cracked against Frola, but Frola hits like an absolute truck, so no shame there, I guess. But I think Drew Dober can still take some big shots, and he took some big shots from what was his name again? I can't fucking remember. The guy that he fought last time. Yeah, I can't remember his name. The guy is horrible, and he was getting tossed up on the feet by the guy. Next up, guys, we're gonna go to our boy, the best fighter out of Kazakhstan, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he's got a crimson chin. This dude, I know he's been dropped in the regional MMA before he made it to the UFC, but he recovered right away. He's got a freaking crazy chin on him. Took some big shots from Jeff Neal, and yeah, Shavkat's got a crimson chin on him for sure. Next up, guys, we're gonna move on to who's next? Our boy, the best, the GOAT of UFC. Some people don't like calling him the GOAT because he fought for PEDs, but Johns Bone Jones. Johns Bone Jones has a crimson chin, man. This dude is taking some big punches. Machida cracked his chin a couple of times. He still just took those punches. He's been in there some big hitters, man. Some big good strikers out there, and I think John Jones has a crimson chin. Next up, guys, we're gonna move on to our boy Jeff Neal. He was just in there with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now he's gonna be fighting Ian Gary in a couple of months, I think. And Jeff Neal, I think, has a good chin. Has Jeff Neal ever been knocked out? I can't even remember. I don't think Jeff Neal has ever been knocked out. I think he's got a good chin. Next up, guys, we're gonna move on to our boy Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall, I mean, his chin got tested by Sergey Pavlovich, and he just took those big shots. Didn't even go down. I think Tom Aspinall has a crimson chin on him as of right now, so I don't know how it's going to be in the future when he fights more big hitters. But for now, I think he's got a pretty good chin on him. Next up, guys, we're going to move on to our boy Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War. I mean, this dude hasn't really fought anyone like that hits that hard. I know he fought Bonfim, but Bonfim, he took him down and submitted him. Then he fought Thiago Moises, who's mostly a grappler. I would put him at crimson chin because he does seem like he has one of those better chins. He was in there with Zaleski, man, and Zaleski's a 170 pounder, like, so Zaleski absolutely beat the shit out of him. But he took that beating on the chin. So I think Benoit Anthony's got a pretty good chin on him. I gotta put him at B tier. There's a lot of guys with good chins in the UFC as of right now, but I'm probably skipping some guys out there. I'll make more videos like this. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's freaking go, guys. Drop a comment for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you all, man. Let's freaking go, guys. Next up, guys, we got our boy Pedro Munoz. I think he's got a freaking crimson chin, man. This dude just takes everything on the chin. He's got a solid chin on him for sure. I gotta move this. My fucking everything's running at space is running out of here because we got so many fucking good chins in the UFC. All right. Next up, guys, we got who do we got next? Marlon Chito Vera. This guy just never gets cut. I don't know what his faces are made out of. This dude, you can hit him with anything you want. This guy just never, like, nothing happens to him ever. I think Chito Vera's got a fucking crazy chin on him. A crimson chin. I wasn't expecting to put a lot of guys in the crimson chins, but there are some good guys with some crazy chins out there. So I guess we gotta give them the credit they deserve. I mean, next up, guys, we got our boy Pantoja. Pantoja definitely has a freaking crazy crimson chin on him. I mean, holy shit, Pantoja can take an absolute beating. He took some crazy knees from a Royval, and Royval was landing those big knees, and Pantoja just takes everything on the chin. Pantoja's got a crimson chin for sure. Next up, guys, we got our boy Max Holloway. Max Holloway definitely has one of the best chins in the game. He could be definitely like top tier. He should be even higher than crimson chin, to be honest. He's got a like top level crimson chin, the best crimson chin out there. And then our boy Marvin Vittori, guys. Damn, I have so many people in the crimson chin. Maybe I gotta move a couple of them down too. But they all have good chins, man. I mean, Kelvin Gastelum, like, never been knocked out. Jamal Hill never been knocked out. I mean, barely ever even gets dropped ever. Shavkat Rakhmonov has a crazy chin on him. John Jones has a crazy chin. I mean, all these guys deserve to be in the crimson chins. And then for good chins, we got Chris Curtis, Kevin Holland, and these guys. So I think all these guys deserve to be here. And I'm probably missing some guys. Make sure you guys like the video for more content like this, and I'll try to make some more content like this for you guys. And that helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and we're trying to work our way to 1K subscribers. Let's freaking go, guys. I appreciate you all, as always. I'll be going live today for Ryzen card midnight, so make sure you guys come and hang out with me tonight. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You all take it easy. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's, guys. See you later.